Capítulo 1. Leve a estranha para ela.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Eu ganhei uma conquista que se chamou O Verdadeiro Slay the Princess começa agora. Você vai saber quando encontrar. Eu tinha que capturar também essa... Capturar também as conquistas, né? Que eu acho que faz parte do jogo, de certa forma. Acho que é assim, captura. Vamos ver. Tá, voltei pro capítulo 1. Ela apagou meus saves? Não sei.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Quando eu clico nas opções ali, o jogo me tira meu mouse da tela. Ah, agora foi, porque tava bugado com... Ah, eu vou deixar na captura de jogo também, tá? Não, não apagou meus saves, não. Estão aqui ainda. Para ignorar diálogo já vi, pressione Tab no teclado ou R1 no seu controle, tá? Não tem a parede aqui atrás. Demais, eu sempre quis acabar com a monarquia. Viva la revolution. Vamos nessa agora. Assim que se fala.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find a warning. Before you, she will lie, she will cheat. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a prince. Ignore him. He doesn't know.
Eu segui até a cabana.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is...
Calma aí, tem como eu... Pular texto novo?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if...
Eu queria pular, tipo, os textos que eu já vi. Mas aqui parece o contrário disso, mas não faz sentido o contrário disso, né? Tá, vou pegar o punhal. Não, vou entrar no porão. Não, vou pegar o punhal. Não, vou entrar no porão.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an apprentice. Her voice softly carries up the...
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Ah, está se passa na Espanha ou um lugar totalmente fictício? Totalmente fictício, eu imagino. O que você supôs Espanha?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Oi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Porra, eu pulei tudo, né? A voz dela é linda. Como alguém poderia ser uma... Como alguém assim poderia ser uma ameaça? Estou esperando por você manter o foco. Você acha que você pode tirar essas grilhões de mim? Não, pular não faz sentido, não. Por conta do comentário em espanhol do protagonista, nem vi. Que comentário em espanhol? Quando? Tá. Peraí, vamos conversar um pouco primeiro.
Okay.
Qual é o seu nome?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Eu fui enviado pra cá pra ceifar você. Aparentemente você vai acabar com o mundo. Mas eu não acredito que você seja perigosa de verdade.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
I think.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Não, e é por isso que não acredito que você seja perigosa de verdade. Ah, viva la revolution. Ah...
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here?
Ainda tem algumas perguntas. Não, examinar os grilhões, vou ver o que posso fazer.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Vou conferir o andar de cima. Talvez a chave ainda esteja em algum lugar lá em cima. E se não estiver, talvez eu ainda encontre algo para te libertar.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Ei, deixe-me sair daqui.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Tentar abrir a
You
porta.
try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Voltar para a base da escadaria.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
O narrador me trancou, talvez.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Salvar a princesa.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
Ela podia fugir esse tempo todo? Mais ou menos, eu acho. Sei lá. Eu não sei se ela ia conseguir terminar de comer o braço. Provavelmente,
She
né?
didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
É pra cima da porta trancada.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Que isso? Ele tá me controlando, o narrador?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Ceifar a princesa, ceifar a princesa, ceifar a princesa, ceifar a princesa, avisá-la.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resistir.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Você desde energia era humano? Não, nunca fui humano. Sempre fui esse bicho aqui. Sei lá o que é isso.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Mas, ou melhor, existe humano nesse mundo? Não existe um mundo, existe eu e existe ela.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Capítulo 2, a donzela. Eita, um capítulo 2 diferente.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
É, o mundo é isso aqui. Não existe nada além disso.
You're here to slay her.
Isso já não tinha acontecido?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Oh, voz do apaixonado, porque eu salvei ela. Então teve essa voz nova. Da primeira vez que eu tentei fugir, teve a voz do opositor, né? Alguma coisa assim. Eu tava sempre sendo o contrário do narrador.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
O objetivo do narrador manter essa história é outra coisa. Sei lá. Eu sei tanto quanto você, praticamente. Cara. Eu vou ter que ajeitar essa câmera que tá de fuder. E a câmera sempre tá cortando algum texto, cara. Que insuportável. Não tem onde deixar. Vou deixar essa câmera no meio, em cima. Tá, digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade e a situação atual já tenha acontecido. Por que eu daria ouvidos a você? Por que eu me daria o trabalho de agir?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you were the one who did us in...
Pulei sem querer. Digamos que agora seja meu... Se você está de volta perto do princípio que você morreu, o que tudo indica, porque não me deu ouvidos. Parto do princípio, né? Foi você que nos passou a perna, vilão.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Deixar a câmera aqui assim, que eu acho que é o limite do que dá.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Concordo com eles, vou encontrar uma forma de tirar ela da cabeça. Vamos conversar sobre a princesa.
Just be quick about it.
Ela só conseguiu me matar da última vez porque eu deixei. Ela mal consegue segurar uma faca. Como é que vai destruir o mundo?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Quem a trancou no porão? O que é esse lugar?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Por que as pessoas não mataram ela em vez de trancar ela? As pessoas conseguiram trancá-la, por que não a ceifaram? Por que a tarefa sobrou pra mim?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Estão omitindo informações. O que está escondendo de mim?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Difícil, hein?
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Ó, concordo com eles. Vou encontrar uma forma de tirá-la da cabana.
That's right. You can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Vou seguir até a cabana.
A warning. Before you go in, she will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
O cara que te controlou no capítulo anterior pedindo confiança é foda, pois é.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Vou seguir até a cabana.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
O espelho de novo. A cabana está diferente da última vez.
Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Eu vou pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the table. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies. Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Não, você não falou nada sobre o espelho na parede.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a tape. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Quero ver o meu reflexo, quero ver o quão bonito eu sou.
That's a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her. We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Aproximar-se do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Limpar.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Entra no porão. Será que acaba na verdade uma parte de um castelo?
Creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
E que na verdade é um calabouço? Não acho que é tão simples, não.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
A voz é muito boa.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero.
Voz do herói.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
O que aconteceu depois que eu morri? Calma. Não. Sinto muito pelo que aconteceu da última vez. O narrador que me enviou para matá-la tomou conta do meu corpo. Foi bastante injusto. Quem é a voz apaixonada? É a voz do apaixonado. Meu personagem, sei lá, tem essas vozes na cabeça dele. A voz do herói, a voz do apaixonado liberou porque na última run, no primeiro capítulo, eu tentei salvar ela, então liberou a voz do apaixonado. Tem o narrador também, né? Mas tudo bem.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
O que aconteceu depois que eu morri?
You died, and now we're talking.
Você me matou da última vez e doeu bastante. Por que fez isso?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
Até que ela tem as vozes na cabeça, vocês na cabeça. A voz na cabeça também, né?
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Preciso cortá-la de novo? Essa não foi minha parte preferida da última vez.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
Stoico.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Mas antes de termos começado a conversar, o mundo acabou. Por acaso você destruiu o mundo?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Esse jogo tem um final definitivo ou vai de acordo com o gosto de cada jogador? Não faço ideia. Eu acho que deve ter algum final.
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Não quero que o mundo acabe.
Then I didn't end the world.
Ah, obrigado.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
Resgatar a princesa.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
O que você quer fazer?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Se você quer ir embora, então vamos.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Ah, foi ele que fechou mesmo.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair! We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Acho que podemos abri-las e tentarmos juntos.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And... the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
Onde fica o endereço desse cara, maior inimigo da felicidade?
I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
Só precisamos de um ao outro para sermos felizes. Não quer ficar aqui e construir uma vida juntos?
What a romantic suggestion. You're right. We don't need the world. All we need is each other. That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested it? Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening. You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed by our proclamation of love? Are we not enough for her? She's not wooed by you because staying here and building a life together isn't a solution. It isn't anything. It's a non-answer. It can't be done.
Tem razão, vamos embora.
Okay. That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Louca paixão, o amor vai libertar vocês, ganha conquista.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Ah, foi absorvida essa daqui. Você não teve chance de fazer tal casaco, nem nunca terá. É hora de partir, a memória retorna.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Vai ficar tudo bem, confia em mim. Já estivemos aqui antes e você sempre fica com medo.
It feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
Acho que ele é muito fã dos folclores dos irmãos Green. É. Tem inspiração, claro, né? Vejo você do outro lado, vai ficar tudo bem.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Vou me ver novamente. Se aproxime do espelho. O silêncio toma conta ao avançar. Eles se foram novamente. O espelho sempre os faz desaparecer. Mas você precisa ver o que há nele. O inchaço. Você cresceu. Você cresceu. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Persegui até a cabana. Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Você é o mesmo ser que era antes quando você mudou?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Tudo que você fala parece um enigma. Será que pode me dar uma única resposta direta?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Aí argumentou, hein? Certo, então era pra ter pego um casaco antes de sair.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Calma, o último cortou o diálogo dela? Cortou, né? E essa daqui? Porque minha câmera tá em cima, não sei, não presta atenção sempre, eu esqueço. Qual é a sensação de mudar assim?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together.
Eu nem tudo.
It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Não tá em cima, tá. Quando tudo isso terminar, você sabe o que vai querer fazer?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was.
Daquilo que fui.
I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Você sabe que no final de tudo, quando tivermos terminado, eu vou matá-la, certo?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Quando... Caraca, é foda, né, velho? Quando eu volto é como se uma parede invisível me cercasse. Por que eu não consigo fazer as mesmas coisas que já fiz antes?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Faz sentido, é bom isso, inclusive. Você tem sido mais gentil comigo do que qualquer outra pessoa que já encontrei, obrigado. Eu posso deixar a câmera em cima dos diálogos, eu pensei nisso, né? Deixar em cima dos diálogos porque eu vou ler o que eu vou escolher, então tudo bem.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
O que você quer que eu traga da próxima vez?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Você tem alguma opinião sobre esse aspecto?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Então não tem nenhuma preferência sobre como você gostaria de mudar ou crescer?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Saudade do tempo que os enquadramentos da tela dos jogos eram 4x4, caralho. Eu só não gosto de jogo que tem coisa em todo canto. É um jogo não muito pensado pra alguém colocar uma câmera em cima do layout, né? Tem muito jogo que é assim, que tem tipo... Em cima tem um negócio, no outro canto tem outro, aí o texto de um lado, texto embaixo, texto em cima. É foda. Eu não quero machucá-la, mas eu sei que as coisas ficaram cada vez piores quanto mais vezes eu voltar.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Quantos aspectos ainda preciso trazer pra você?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
Eu trouxe duas até agora, né?
You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Atacar a entidade. Destruir seu corpo. Sua vontade corta a entidade à sua frente, mas nada acontece.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Destruir seu corpo. Você ergue sua vontade para dar fim à própria vida, mas ao cravá-la no espaço onde seu corpo deveria estar, você não sente absolutamente nada. Uma das muitas mãos diante de você se estende na sua direção e toca gentilmente o lado do seu rosto.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Estou pronto para voltar.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Tudo que escuro e você morre.